He will not put a hedge around him and his household and everything he has. Where does the hedge extend to? Household and everything he has. Now let me read the statement I wanted to read from here. God's protection is often accompanied by his blessings. Allow me to comment something before I continue reading. By the way, if you read it, you might think that the blessings of God are the ones that made God to put a hedge. But it is the other way. It is the protection of God that brings the blessings. Somebody is saying to repeat again. It is not the blessings that we are having from God that brings the protection. That now because I'm rich, God is going to protect me. It is because of the protection. Because when we spoke about verse 5, what was the second type of affliction in chapter 2? It was health. Yeah. First, he took all the riches, now he has come to health. And you think you are having good health as a blessing because God has protected you. No. It's because of the protection that you have good health. Now, Job is saying, Satan is saying that you are protected, not only him, but all he has. So it is because of the protection. The one who wrote this thing was saying that it is a spiritual blessing and a prosperity. That not only that the divine protection protects you from an enemy, it also brings blessings attached to it. Now, I want to ask all fathers and mothers around, it is the faith and the state of Job that Satan says that the household is also protected. Do you realize that because of your faith, your sons cannot be attacked by the devil? It is because of Job's faith and Job's status of being blameless, upright, and fearing God and shunning evil, that even his household is being protected. Now, if that one is not enough, allow me to tell you something else. If you look at the text, actually it was only part A. I'm not going to the second part that you have blessed here. No, I'm just continuing on that one. Have you not put a hedge around him and his household and everything he has? How many points have we spoken? I want to do a review. 4. I have reached point 6, the last one. Oh, you remember only, okay, tell us the 4. Actually, I've finished my sermon. The only thing remaining is 2 comments that I've done. Tell us the 4 then, because you have said you only remember the 4. Okay. The first one, I say from the text, it is that God, according to this conversing with Satan thinks that Job feared God because. I'm saying that Satan thinks that Job is protected by God because of the fear he had for God. Preaching salvation by works, of which it is wrong. That is the first point. The second point that I brought across is that the afflictions that Satan wants to afflict cannot go to the extent he wants because of the hedge. The third point I put is that Job is not aware of the protection that he's having. The fourth one is that Satan, by the way, I forgot this one. Who is saying this statement? From her to hers. Who is saying the statement? Imagine Job doesn't know who has put protection for him, but Satan knows. Satan is very much aware that who has protected Job. Job doesn't know, but Satan is very much aware who has put that kind of protection. Point number 6, I said it does not mean that the protection, will protect you from everything. Satan will afflict, but he is limited. And the last point is that the hedge that was around Job was not only with Job, but all that he had. Those are the 7 points that you can pick from the first part of that text. Now, where am I bringing this issue of the hedge? When Satan thinks it is riches, brothers and sisters, confirm to him it is not because of your riches you are praising God. If Satan thinks that it is because maybe Joshua has never gone to the hospital, that is why I'm praising God, prove to him it is not because of the good health. In marriage, they say whether in sickness and you will do what? Let that be the same covenant you have with your God. Now, this is just a hedge that God is bringing to his people. Allow me to flip the coin to the other side. How does Satan get to break this hedge? This is what God has put all of us. But how does that Satan get to break the hedge so that it afflicts us? There are 2 major. Number 1 is seductions. Being a seducing spirit. What do I mean by seducing spirit? Okay. In Genesis, you will see that Satan had a conversation with Eve. But Satan disappears. Who was seducing Adam to sin? Eve. At that moment, who was Eve to Adam? He was Satan. Hello. At that critical moment when he said, we will not die, you know, I've eaten this thing. He was Satan. Adam. Because he is playing the role, actually he was an agent of the devil. And he's seducing the husband to also protect. Number 1 is seducing. He might, in the text I've used in Genesis, he used the wife. He might use your son. He might use your family to seduce you just to fall. He might even use your girlfriend. He can use even lighthouse church members to seduce you to fall. Jesus spoke this word in John 6 verse 70. Don't go there. John 6 70. Whereby he's telling his disciples that I, as God, I have chosen the 12. Imagine the first nucleus of the church, 12 members, and God says, I know one is a devil. If Jesus can have a devil inside his innermost kind of people, what about us? Out of the 12, one is a devil. It cannot be a problem, Pastor. You find that out of the 12 members of the church, one is only for God, 11 are for the devil. Out of the 12 pastors, my pastors forgive me. It is not a miracle to find that only one is for the Father, others are for profession. And we know them. Number 1 is seducing. He might use anyone, but just to seduce you that this thing is good, sinning is good, and it has benefits, which it does not. Now that is the first one. The second one is turning darkness to light. You know, that is one of his best things that he does. He brings, by the way, I've never seen how cigarette is packed, especially in Kenya. It has very good colors. Red, black, and white. Maybe I used to tell. If you see those 3 colors, they are one of the most used colors by, okay, let me not say by who, but the 3 colors, they are very attractive. Red, black, white. And you think that because it has these beautiful colors, it's something inside that is very good. And that is how Satan packs sin. At the immediate place where you are standing, you think that everything is right. Trust you me, nothing is right. In it, the Bible says it is filled crowds. So he's turning light into darkness and bringing darkness as light, and he presents to people and you think everything is right. Those are the two major ways that Satan is using to break the hedge that God has brought to men. Now, what hedge am I talking about? Let me calm down. What hedge am I talking about that God brings to his people? I will tell you, my pastor. Allow me to read, how many quotations should I read from Ellen White? To confirm. I just want to confirm what hedge I'm talking about. 10. Before I go to the 10, I have time. We. Thank you. Before now I go to Ellen White, thank you for adding me. Give me Luke chapter 22, verse 31. Thank you for adding me time. But remember, you did not speak on behalf of the kids as well. Give me Luke 22, verse 31. I'm giving the first hedge, and I will give the second one, and I will pray. Luke, is it Luke or Leak? My French people. Is it Luke or Leak? Or Luke? Whatever. Yes, told me whatever. So it is Luke. Luke 22 verse 1. Simon, Satan has asked you to do what? Another version from the congregation. Simon, Satan wants to sift you. Are you bringing another one? And the Lord said, Simon, behold, Satan had desired to have you. The other one was using to sift. Satan wants to have you that he may sift you as wheat. In other words, he wants to break you to pieces. But, next verse. But I have prayed for thee that thy faith fail not. That is the first hedge that God has put for all of us. God has prayed for all of us that our faith does not do what? Does not fail. But unfortunately, very much unfortunate. Let me put another verse. Luke 13. 53, we will read downwards. I want to build on this one thing because you wanted me some time. Allow me to add. No, Matthew. I said Luke, Matthew 13. 58. Either 53. And it came to pass that when Jesus had finished these parables, he departed thence. Next. And when he had come into his own town, he taught them in their synagogues inasmuch that they were astonished and said, whence hath this man this wisdom? And these mighty works, they are questioning two things. Where does Jesus bring these mighty works from? And where is he getting this wisdom? Is not this the carpenter's son? Is not his mother called Mary, and his brethren James, Joseph, Simon, and Judas? These are the brothers, not the brothers, half brothers of Jesus. Next verse. And his sisters, are they not with us? Whence then hath this man have gotten all these things from? Next. And they were offended in him, but Jesus said unto them, a prophet is not recognized in his own hometown, and he has no honor. Next verse, that is where I want to read it from. And he did not do many mighty works because of what? Another version. Give me another version of the same text. He did not do a lot of mighty works because of what? Lack of faith. God has prayed for your faith not to fail. But your faith has failed because of doubt. That is what Satan is using. If you read John 17, okay, give me 17, 15. Give me that one, 15, 17. where Jesus is praying in the entire chapter of John 17, and the first part he prays for himself, then he prays for his disciples, and he finishes the chapter by praying for all of his people. Isaiah 17:15, my prayer is not that you take them out of the world, but you do what? You do what? Improvise this word. You do what? Use another language that I've been using. You do what? You put a hedge. That is what God has done. Enough of that one. Let me go to the second kind of hedge that God has done for us. Number one, it is the prayer, and with combination of your faith to the prayer of Christ. The second one, that one you will not have it. Let me look for it. Signs of the time. I'm going to read 2 or 3 quotations to confirm just one thing. Signs of the time, 1904, November 30th. The title says that obedience, the condition for salvation. This word shows plainly that obedience to God's command is the condition upon which His promises are fulfilled. His commandments are not grievous. God has put them for the good of His people. By the way, do you believe that the law was put for our own good? Can you prove it with a text? Put Romans 7:10. It continues to say that God has given them for the good of His people. 7:10 Romans. I found that the commandments that was intended to bring has brought what? A law. When you were outside. He said that the law that was intended to bring life has brought what? So if we want to speak about the law, it was for our own good to get that life. It ends by saying His law is a hedge which He has built for His people's protection. Is what? His law is the hedge. Let me read the Desire of Ages, 596, paragraph 3. It is expounding a text we read in Matthew 21:33 and Isaiah chapter 5. In the parable of the household presented by God, the vineyard is a Jewish nation, and the hedge is His divine law. I am stopping there. There are 2 hedges that God has brought to us. Number 1, prayer. That prayer, beside the prayer, we have the part of your faith, where you exercise your faith. The second one is His divine law that was given to our own good to protect us. Now, if we talk about protect, I may provide the language and use to guide. The law was given to guide us. But the way Satan is breaking the prayers of God and is breaking the law is by telling you to be seduced by the one you love, and secondly, turning darkness to light. But my prayer to all of us is that God has done more than what Satan has done for you. God has done more than what Satan has done for you. It is your choice to select who is going to protect you, because do you know that Satan also protects? Do you know that Satan gives riches the same way God gives riches? Now it is upon us to just think, when the text was put that have you not put a hedge around him, replace this him with your name and his household and everything, and be ready to answer that even if Satan is going to afflict me, it is for a short while. In the long run, you will find that God has done a lot. Even if you don't see this kind of protection, because someone might ask, how does the Lord protect you? In the long run, you will understand the text better. Allow me to finish by saying these few words. Number 1, the hedge comes from God. You don't work for it. What you need to do is believe. just that first part where my singer said that once you repent, there is that joy, there is the justification, and you believe. That is the first step. God has prayed for us, for the hedge to be on our side and everything we have. Just take that note. The song we sang before I bring another song, it was saying, hiding in thee. I want the lyrics, please. The lyrics of that song, that all sail to the rock that is higher than I. My soul in its conflicts and sorrows will fly. So sinful, so weary. Thine could I be, thou blessed rock of ages. I'm hiding in thee. In the calm of the noontide, in sorrow, lone hour, in times when temptation casts over me its power, in the tempest of life, on it is wide, having a sea, thou blessed rock of ages, I'm hiding in thee. How oft in the conflict, when pressed by the foe, that is the one, I have fled to my refuge, just for the hedge. As I'm concluding, I'm triggered to bring one last verse. Refuge and breathed out my woe. How often, when trials like the sea, that one brings the sense of when peace like a river brings that sense. I am hidden myself in the rock, and my soul is safe. Give me some water. That is the last text I'm going to read. Psalm 1, verse 5. Psalm 139, verse 5. 139, verse 5. It says, another version. I want us to check this one in other versions. NIV, he sent me. Okay. Alright, let's use it too. Which version is that? That is your New King James. If you have it, New King James. You have, okay, New King James. You have done what? Hedged me behind, before, and you have played what? If this is your prayer, kindly stand up.